I can't stay off my Instagram. I can't stay off social media. So I need you. I'm going to give you my password, and I need you to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need you to change it, and I need you to keep it away from me for 90 days. Do not give me the password under any circumstances.
Have you ever looked in the mirror and just didn't like the person you saw looking back? That was me for a long time. And I think social media played a big part in that. Let's talk about it.
In a lot of ways, social media has been revolutionary for us as a society. So many positive things and unforgettable moments were born from social media. I mean, think about it. Without social media, we wouldn't really be able to stay in touch with friends and family that live across the world. Small businesses would have never been able to compete with the dominant corporate company. Unknown creators with tons, and I mean tons of talent probably would have never been found or discovered. I mean, seriously, social media has changed our lives a lot in a positive way. But what about the negative? What about the yin to the yang? With as many positives as I can name for social media, I can almost name just as many negatives, if not more. For many, social media had become an addiction, and by many, I mean me. But that's just the beginning of it. And because we spend so much time on these platforms, these behemoth companies harvest our data and use that to constantly market to us about stuff that we probably don't even need. Social media has also affected society by creating these echo chambers where people's inherent beliefs are constantly reinforced and they never get another perspective. Also, people nowadays value online relationships more than cultivating the relationships with the people that are right in front of them. But that's not the worst of it. Social media has also affected people's mental. 65% of people say that social media has had a negative effect on their mental health. And for me personally, social media really made me fucking hate myself. No, like seriously, I really did. For a lot of my life being a football player, I think I tie my value to what other people thought of me. I mean, I've always played football in front of large crowds where they'd be able to watch for their entertainment, but I'd be able to hop on social media and get feedback on what people thought of my performance or even what they thought of me. After football was over for me, I found myself still needing that validation. I was addicted. So over the next couple of years, I found myself doing all sorts of stuff on social media. I was doing everything I can just to get that attention back. And hell, I even built up a little bit of a following. But what I didn't know is what it was doing to me in the interim. I mean, looking back on it, I truly am ashamed at some of the things and stunts I pulled off on social media just to get people's validation. And after a while, I just started to get sick of me needing that validation. I was fed up. I wanted to change. The only problem is I didn't know how. And then I started to see people choosing a different route, choosing to unplug. I started to see all these people doing a social media detox and bragging about the benefits they got. And quite frankly, I wanted those benefits for myself. So for all those reasons, that's why I decided to go 90 days without social media. Now, from an addicted asshole like me, I knew that this was going to be one of the hardest things I'd ever done. But I knew it needed to be done. But how the hell was I going to go from spending 30 hours a week on social media to none? I decided that if I was actually going to go 90 days without social media, then I needed to do everything in my power to set things up for my favor. So I set up rules for myself. The rules were no social media use unless for business purposes. And when I would use social media, it could only be for my iPad, except for Facebook though, because nobody uses that and I'm in some important groups on there that I like to keep up with. Next up was creating systems to help me succeed. So I started wrapping up any conversations that I had with friends, letting them know that I wouldn't be on social media. I even sent these little cryptic messages letting them know I'd be gone for a while. How important I must be. Obviously, that's a joke. I don't know what makes me think people would actually give a shit that I was gone. And then lastly, I also deleted all social media apps from my phone and blocked those apps from my browser as well. Day one was, well, tougher than I thought it'd be. I literally did not do anything without picking up my phone first and checking Instagram. When I woke up, I grabbed my phone. Before my workout, I grabbed my phone. During work, every 5 minutes, I grabbed my phone, checking Instagram. While I was trying to go to sleep, I couldn't sleep because I was checking Instagram. And it wasn't until now I realized just how much of an attachment I had to social media. And even though I didn't spend 1 minute on social media that day, I didn't feel productive because when I wasn't on IG, my mind was thinking about IG. It really is pathetic how many times I checked my phone trying to get on Instagram today. Kind of ashamed of myself. I really got to do something to break this addiction. The rest of the week got better, but not a lot changed. I kept picking up my phone, scrolling to the place where Instagram was, only to realize nothing was there. I kept recording things on my phone as if I was going to post it, only to realize nobody was going to see it. I kept finding myself grabbing my iPad and logging onto my IG to check my DMs for business purposes. Because certainly the world could not go a whole week without Glasgow Martin. What? That's absurd. And worst of all, even though I had freed up a substantial amount of time, a lot of that time was just spent cultivating other bad habits on my phone, like dating apps. This wasn't really what I had in mind when I started this. By the way, can we all just fully agree right now that dating apps suck? Oh my God. By week 3, I had somewhat improved. I deleted the dating apps altogether, and I made adjustments to start leaving my phone outside the room during work, and I was already starting to be much more productive. Side note, isn't it crazy that even when the app, Instagram, whatever, is not on your phone, you still have this like gravitational pull towards your phone to like check that app? I don't know. It's really crazy how addictive these companies make these platforms. Just a side note. But now back to the story. And for the most part, things were starting to go well, except for this. You see, I had accounted for the productivity aspect of getting rid of social media. But ironically, what I hadn't accounted for was the social aspect of it. And that led me to 2 really disappointing realizations. Number 1, the world goes on without me. You see, it had almost been 3 weeks since really anybody had reached out to me. And the crazy part is I was having daily conversations with a lot of these people on these apps. And I hadn't heard from anybody in almost 3 weeks. My phone was dry as hell. And I'm talking Sahara dry. And then number 2, I realized just how many things I really just did for validation, and it was starting to weigh on me. By week 4, I honestly couldn't take it anymore. I had made such significant progress in my life without social media, it had been crazy. I picked up meditation as a habit. I became a much better video editor. I was reading a book a week. I even started crushing at my sales job. The problem was, for me at least, nobody knew about it. The nasty truth is, I hadn't broken my addiction to the need of validation. I hadn't. The truth was, I cared what people thought. I always tried to pretend I didn't, but I did care. And I hated that. I needed to let people know how far I'd come, how far I progressed. So I broke. One night, I got a little tipsy after work, and then boom, it happened. I grabbed that iPad. I got on IG. I saw a couple hot chicks that had been rejecting my DMs. I saw all my friends living these fabulously fabricated lives that looked super perfect. I don't know. There was something in me that felt that I needed to compare. I needed to compete. Everyone was living their lives. They were moving on just great without me. And I needed to show them how far I progressed, how far I'd come. And so I just went on posting. I just was posting aggressively. And I did the most douchebaggy things. I started posting my meditation streak, started posting my pay stubs, started posting thirst trap body pictures. And I don't even got a good body like that. And sure, I got the validation I wanted. Damn, Glass, you killing it. Damn, you on it, bro. Keep going. So I let the disappointment of breaking my streak of getting on IG kind of set in. Let it set in for a couple days, but then I got back on my feet. Fuck this. It's time to do this experiment the right way. Firstly, I reflected on where I had gone wrong with this experiment, and the one thing that kept popping up into my head was that I was half-assed. I was only halfway doing it. Lukewarm doing it. You see, even though I had deleted the apps from my phone, I hadn't deleted it from my iPad. So it was always still there, like a dark cloud over my head. And with that dark cloud looming, it was just such a temptation for me to get on social media. So I knew I had to eliminate it completely. Back. What's up, man? What's going on? I can't stay off my Instagram. I can't stay off social media. So I need you. I'm going to give you my password, and I need you to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need you to change it. And I need you to keep it away from me for 90 days. Do not give me the password under any circumstances. None.
What happens if you get this password back from me?
Well, that's the thing. You can't give, as a matter of fact, you bring up a good point. Let's raise the stakes on this a little bit. You change the password to whatever you want. Make it as long as you want. And if I ask for it back before the 90 days are up, I have to pay you $100 per letter in the password. That's raising the stakes.
I'm gonna make this thing as long as
bro, all right, you always doing the most.
Friend, I'm just trying to help you out.
You always doing the most. Okay, fair. I'm not coming back for 90 days. I appreciate it. I'll send it to you. Thanks for your help. Over the next few months, it's like everything had changed for me. I think it's because I knew that no matter what I did, no matter how much I begged, I could not get access to that Instagram. And I think just knowing I couldn't have it almost kind of made me stop wanting it. And over the remaining months, the changes and progress I saw were nothing short of spectacular. It got to the point where I was starting to get detached from my phone. I didn't need to take it with me in every single room. My productivity was through the roof. My creativity was through the roof. And also my mind share had been cleared out. I had no longer had to come up with witty posts and witty DMs and things to say. I just had so much more mental capacity to actually spend on the things that were important to me. Hell, I even read 50 books during this time. And that's not even all. And because my nose was no longer buried in my phone when I went out in public, I started to see the beauty in all the little things like nature. I began to make friends, like real life friends, not just ones on social media. I met people at my gym. And mind you, I have been going to this gym for 6 months before and had never made one friend. Now I was all of a sudden making friends. I also started to cultivate relationships with people that were actually reaching out to me while I wasn't on social media. And all of them even mentioned that my energy had changed. And I found out that when I'm not constantly comparing myself to the perfect images that people display of their lives on Instagram, that I'm actually kind of happy with myself. Who would have thought it? I also started to like being alone, like alone in a room without anybody else, being comfortable in my own skin. And most importantly, I no longer felt the need to rush my progress. You see, because I was always comparing on Instagram, I always felt like I had to get somewhere faster, get there faster. But now that I was off social media, it's like I no longer found joy in getting to the destination, but I was starting to find joy in the steps it took to get to that destination, or the journey, you could say. Damn, man, it's hard to say this, but I was happy. In the end, after nearly going about 4 months without social media, I would consider it a success. I was the most happy and fulfilled I had been in a very long time. So with that being said, would I recommend that you try it? Without question, the answer is yes. Now, I may not recommend you go jump right into 90 days without social media. That might be a little much starting off the bat, but I definitely do recommend taking a break from social media. The benefits are unmeasurable. Now, Glass, was it life-changing? Absolutely. I can't even explain it. It's like once you stop using social media for a prolonged period of time, you almost stop getting that itch to use it. And then once that happens, it's like that cloud just leaves from on top of your head. I don't know, man. The feeling is just really amazing. And it just really allows you to go deep in every facet of your life. Is this something that I think I will continue? For sure. I could definitely see myself doing it again. I don't know if 90 days, I don't know if I do it again for 90 days, but I could see myself taking at least a 30-day break once a year to just really reset the mind. Overall, that's a wrap for this video, and I'm honored that I would be able to get to share a little bit of my story with you guys, and I hope you took some value from it. And if you did, come on, man, help your boy out, help the channel out. Go ahead and hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell. Oh, also leave me a comment below and let me know what's the longest you've gone without hopping on social media. And as always, guys, I'll catch y'all in the next video. You know what it is. Your boy Glass is out. Peace.